24 minutes before 11 o'clock. It's time to learn about damage control. We just found out about buying a house. What if you have a house and a tree falls into it, or your landlord and the tenant is awful and leaves it a mess? Or what if there are termites? Anything that damages a house can be fixed. And that's the good news. And Joe Reichel does this, and so does Rob Sobieski. I hope I said Rob's last name correctly. This is a show called Damage Control, and Joe and Rob are here right now to answer your questions about things that might be disastrous, things that need to be restored, and how to fix them, and where to start.
Disasters are what we love to talk about. We love to be able to help people to have them, but most importantly, we want to help people protect themselves in order to prevent these things from happening. They can be very taxing on a person's life, emotionally, having to deal with it, and trees are one of the things we're going to focus on today.
Okay.
And pretty much what to do as far as having your trees checked regularly by an arborist, having them come out and do regular checks as far as maintenance, if the trees are hanging over the home or leaning towards the home. These are things, with the spring rains that we have, and then the winds come. It's, we don't need a hurricane in order to have tree damage.
Do you get a lot of calls? I mean, more than we would hear about in the news?
Yes.
Like after a storm, we always hear about trees falling down. But are there more than we hear about?
Oh, yeah, a lot more than you hear about. Matter of fact, just last 2 weeks ago, we had a tree, a huge oak tree, fell on 2 homes, and then that was on Thursday, and on Friday we had a tree fall on another house. So this happens all the time. We're going to tell a story. Rob's going to tell a story of the Wingroves, residents here in Ocala, Mr. and Mrs. Wingrove that we worked for, and about a year ago, I guess.
Well, good morning, Rob. Nice to meet you, by the way. And did I say your name correctly?
You did say my name correctly, okay. Rob. It's an easy one.
All right. And I meant the last name.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. And so the two of you work together, even though you have different color shirts?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we work together.
Mine matches my earphones today, though.
Yeah, so it does. Yeah. So tell me about is it with the Wingroves?
Yes, the Wingroves is David and Novella Wingrove. We received a call early, and this is due to a relationship that we had established with a tree company. One of the local guys, he is an arborist in town, and got a call from him early one morning that one of his regular customers had called who he'd done some trimming before, and they had one of the large pine trees, basically, in essence, split their house in half, hit their car along with it, across the roof of their car.
Wow.
So he called us in a hurry and had us get out there as quickly as we could. When we showed up, he was finishing getting the tree off the main part of the house.
Oh, boy.
And, of course, the homeowners are frantic. They're not sure what to do and just walking around scratching his head, not knowing the next step. So just trying to be there as quickly as we can to calm the situation. This does happen, even though it doesn't happen to each homeowner very often. That we're at least there to help them out.
So you see it a lot, but we don't.
Right.
Yeah.
So a homeowner or business owner could be very worried about what's going to happen, what's the next step. So if we can just be there to allay some of that fear and show them the next step if they need us to.
Oh, really? So you have a little teddy bear in the patrol car kind of a thing?
We could.
Now, I just wanted to back up a little bit. Do you actually, in what you do for a living, the service you provide people, do you actually do the preventive stuff too? Or is that somebody else's job?
We've got, different tree companies that we work with closely, and they do, we recommend homeowners to consult them, to get with them, and that way they're able to look up something.
Okay. And which insurance company pays for the car? The car insurance or the homeowner's insurance?
That would be the car insurance.
The car insurance, okay. Yeah. All right, we do have a phone call, and everybody's invited to call. The number here is the WOCA Climate Control Source Hotline. That number is 352-622-9622. Good morning. You're on the air with Rob and Joe.
Good morning. This is Tony calling. You're talking about trees. There are tree arborists and Martin, I've seen some people where the person will come out and trim the lower limbs and maybe do a couple of upper limbs, but they really, I think it's the proper trimming would be to thin the branches out, but yet maintain the shape of the tree so that you get better airflow through the tree. And then the other thing is, like you just mentioned, the insurance companies. I mean, from what I'm hearing here is, oh, gee, that was flood damage, and then, wait a minute, but we had like 6 inches of rain, and they're telling you, well, that's flood damage, and then somebody with the flood insurance is going to tell you, oh, no, that was due to the rain, and it goes back and forth. Now, how does that work if you're going out on the job, and the job is, whatever storm damage, whether it's trees or whatever, how does that work with the payments and the insurance companies? And do you have some kind of a liaison with insurance companies for payment? In other words, would you accept the insurance payment after the figures have been gone over for your compensation, or do you leave that strictly up to the homeowner? Now hang up and listen. Thank you.
Appreciate your call. There was a two-part question. It's most important whenever disaster happens, whatever the cause, if it's the tree was the initial cause, or if it's the rain that came in causing the flooding, as far as a water damage issue, no matter what, most importantly is to first get your home protected. Get the tree off the house, get it tarped in, so as to prevent further damage to your belongings. The second part, your insurance company or the insurance company, and whatever the claim is, will come up to, you'll have to come to an agreed upon price in order for the work to be done. That's typically what we work with the insurance company to find that, work with you as a homeowner to make sure that you're getting everything that you deserve from your insurance coverage, and then work to rebuild. So, it can be a long, drawn out process. We try to get it moving as quickly as we can in order to take care of everything, and most importantly, one thing that we try to do is to keep you in your home, or to get you back in your home as soon as we can.
When you run into somebody that has had severe damage and they don't have the financial resources to fix it, let's say they didn't get the right insurance or something like that, do you direct them? There's a story right now in the news, and we've even had some guests in the studio, of a veteran, a guy serving in the military right now. His house burned down just before he went overseas, and so now people are getting the resources. In this case, is the community coming together. So
there's different situations like that. There's a home here in Ocala. The tree's been sitting on the home, large oak tree. I took pictures the day after it happened. It happened on a Tuesday. I was there on a Wednesday. Took pictures of it. The tree is still on the home.
How long has it been there?
It's been there
about a month now, maybe.
Yeah, at least a month.
Oh, what do you think is the story? Do you know?
It could be exactly what you said, not having proper insurance, or not having insurance at all. I don't really know the story of the house, but...
So if that person called up, what would you say to that person?
Well, we would have to...
Get the tree off the house?
Well, we'd have to have a meeting with them. I mean, at this point, it's been open for so long, I would hate to say, what the inside looks like, just because of water damage and probably mold growth inside the home. It's a case-by-case situation.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to kind of probably take a look at it and go from there. But that's one of the things that are most important is making sure that you know what your home, how your home is protected, as far as the correct insurance. Making an appointment, sitting down with your agent, talking about what you have and how to best cover it by protecting it with insurance, so that you, in case of an accident, you are protected.
Now, how do you protect yourself against a neighbor's tree? If it's on the other side of the line, but it's big enough, if it comes down, then it comes your way, you're going to be the one that has to pay the bill, right?
Well, that could be a sticky situation, but yes, if your homeowner's insurance should take care of what's yours on your property, and even though you may have had to, at one point, come up to your neighbor and said something about the tree even being potentially dangerous, but until it's actually taken care of, it's your homeowner's insurance.
You want to send a certified letter. If there's a neighbor's tree that is endangering your home, a certified letter needs to be sent to them, letting them know of the danger.
Yeah. You got a big tree there, and I'm worried about it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
All right, let's go back to the phone and say good morning. You're on the air with Rob and Joe.
Yes, thank you. Would it be advisable to, instead of waiting for the insurance or to happen and then use the insurance, is to do it if it's pending that you know that thing is going to come down sooner or later, to financially do it now rather than wait till later?
Yes, certainly. Certainly it would be good to do preventative maintenance on these trees, to have a certified arborist come out and check. They can also check the health of the tree itself, and sometimes they can look at certain limbs, the way the leaves...
What if it's your neighbor's tree?
Well...
That's right on the line.
Right.
It's almost,
Yeah, that's one of those situations where you just need to use some common sense, I suppose, checking property lines. If a survey is recent, you do know exactly where the tree is, and like Joe had mentioned earlier, sometimes a certified letter is in need so that things are documented.
So they know about it ahead of time.
Yeah, and if something does happen, your insurance company can see this proof that something has been attempted to do about it.
Sure.
Yeah, it's like you'd mentioned, it's better always to do it ahead of time. Most homeowners would have a deductible, whatever the deductible would be on your insurance. So you'll have to come out of pocket to pay for the deductible.
Yeah.
So a tree loss or insurance damage you're going to have to pay something to get it fixed anyway.
Right.
So it's always smarter to go ahead
without. Okay.
Right.
You sold me.
Yeah. You don't want the liability of maybe your family being in the home when the tree fell.
That's true. That's very true. It's right by my bedroom. Yeah, I don't want it on my bed.
You want to run that risk if you don't have to.
That's it. Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you for the call.
Thanks for the call.
Yeah, that's a good point. That the amount of money you'll have to pay anyway, even with insurance, is probably more than it would cost to cut the tree down, or at least get it trimmed.
It can. Cutting trees, can be expensive, depending on where they're at. But you've got to you can't put a value on your family's lives either.
I knew a lady, she was a listener, she's moved out of the area, but she had a huge tree, fell on her property, did not hit her house. And she decided to keep it there as decorative. And she planted flowers around it. It was the thing she'd call in all the time about. Have you ever had somebody who said, you know what, the tree fell, but just leave it. You come to help them out, and they're saying, you know what, we'll fix the porch. It knocked a few things off, but otherwise I'm going to keep that tree there.
I don't think I have.
I haven't encountered that as far as decoration reasons, but for monetary purposes I have. Because there are some insurance companies that will only pay for what's actually on the house.
Oh, really?
So the tree removal of the stump and the major part of the trunk could be out of
the maybe that was
pocket.
The unspoken story in her case.
It could have been.
Well, if it didn't hit anything, there probably wasn't much of a...
Then it wasn't a claim
wasn't
anyway.
a claim.
I guess so. Okay. Rob Sobieski is here with Joe Reichel. They're here to answer your questions. The show is called Damage Control, and their business, by the way, is called Damage Control Services, and we'll give you that number in just a little bit. Good morning. You're on the air.
Yes, good morning, men. Can a tree company be held liable? Let's say they come out, they trim your tree down, they say your tree is healthy and everything looks good, they do a nice job. A week later, you have a windy thunderstorm go by and the thing blows over on your house. Can they be held liable for telling you something that wasn't true?
I don't believe so. No matter what, even with regular checkups, there's no guarantee.
In a way, the reason I say this is because I've experienced, not only in my subdivision, but throughout the city, these large, what they call water or live oaks, that look healthy, and they during the windstorm, they tip over, and they're all hollow in the inside, rotted out, but yet they look healthy. Is there any way they can determine that tree is unhealthy, by drilling into it or something?
I'm not real sure about determining the health of trees.
Yeah.
That's their profession, but even a healthy tree, no matter how healthy, that's I don't like using the term, but that's why they call them acts of God.
Yeah.
These long, strong winds that.
Well, if you have a tree
up.
that's toppled and you see the inside of that tree just about hollowed out,
Right.
And it wasn't disclosed during the treatment of the tree, shouldn't they be somehow reliable for giving you misinformation or whatever?
I really don't know how to answer that question.
That's a tough question.
Yeah. I mean, could you have them sign a paper saying this tree is considered healthy and strong, or something like that, and then the thing blows over anyways,
I'm sure a good lawyer could get them out of that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean.
I guess I'll have to call up the lawyer program here today just around and find out what's going on.
There you go. I'm not
another program.
Yeah, but it's interesting though the amount of trees that look healthy, and you get a windstorm, they're blown up and they're hollow in the inside, but yet the tree looks healthy. It's unbelievable, So it's quite a problem down here. Thank you.
Most of the trees that are in bad shape or that are going to blow over, you have evidence that they need attention. Whether it's rotten areas or dead limbs or these are things that are visible. But I mean, even with the strong winds, there's always any tree can come down. The rains that we get a lot of rain, it makes them weak at the base. Then the wind comes through and down it goes.
Let's go back to the phone. Rob and Joe are here answering your questions. Today they're focusing on tree damage, and let's go back to the phone. Good morning, you're on the air.
Good morning, it's Sonny again. My basic question is, since you're in the damage control, do you come into the situation more often, or would you more often, or be more inclined to work with the insurance companies when this happens at somebody's home? I mean, they're just looking at the damage and then they're saying, "Oh my God, I'll never be able to get this fixed," so on and so forth. The last thing they're actually thinking of is submitting a claim to an insurance company or whatever. And if you do call, you usually get a runaround with these people. And Florida is noted for the insurance mess that we have in this state. And this is what I'm really asking, is do you have facilities to help smooth the insurance process along and whatever? It seems to me that would be the thing to do if you're in this kind of, emergency repair business. It's the best way I could put it. I'll hang up and listen.
Thank you, Sonny. We thank you for the call again. We have insurance agents that we work with that will call us. Typically, whenever you have a claim, the first things you want to do is, like I said, make sure to get everything tarped in and get hire someone, get the tree off, and then get a restoration company to tarp it in and protect it from further damage. You want to be careful about not going in the home. As far as, there's going to be debris everywhere, and, you got to be very cautious about that. And the next step, you want to notify your insurance company. Whether you call the claim department or you call your agent, you'll want to get a claim started. We do work with homeowners through this process. That's one of the things that Rob and I, like he was saying with the Windgroves, for example, we help them to go through the process step by step, and then we work with them. Once they get the claim started, we'll meet with them and the insurance adjuster. When he comes out, we'll work with the adjuster to come to an agreed upon a scope of work, an agreed upon price, and then we work with the contractors, the subcontractors, in order to get everything taken care of and back in place.
And it sounds like with that one family that you gave us an example, it sounds like you bring hope where, you might look hopeless to somebody, but you basically say, you know what, this is not hopeless, we can fix this, and we'll show you the steps. So that, to me, that would be a good peace of mind moment right there. Good morning, you are on the air. Thank you for calling.
Okay, Larry, no laughing. No laughing, control yourself. Why does tree never fall on Indian teepee? Hello.
That's a good question.
Well, you told us not to laugh. We were holding it back.
I was. You were supposed to say. I don't know why.
I don't know why.
Oh, it's a joke.
Because the Indian's smart enough not to put it under the tree.
Very good.
Now, if a tree falls in the forest, who does it bother?
Yeah, it's a good
Who
question.
does it bother?
I don't know. Who?
Doesn't bother anybody. Animals either go around or through it.
Thanks for your call.
Okay. I think the peace of mind is the biggest thing right here that you bring to people. One little quick question: if a tree damages a house, so it's like it takes out a corner or something, and then there's a window involved, and there's a bunch of damage. Is there an obligation because of the insurance company to make it like it was, or could the homeowner say, as long as it took it out, I'd like a bay window there, or I'd like some kind of a difference? Are you allowed to do that? Is it by insurance rules?
You can make changes, but that would be under your own obligation to do so. What the insurance is obliged to do is to repair your home to the condition that it is in now, or to repair it with like condition or like quality materials similar. So, so if you had a window there, they're going to pay you for that window and to replace the window, the money for it.
So if you wanted something else, you would just pay extra.
If you wanted to expand that window and make it a bay window like you mentioned, or change the roof design a little, then above and beyond that money that the insurance company would give you for compensation, then there would be an amount figured to do that extra amount of work.
Does that happen often? Do people say, we were going to do something with that anyway, and like people sometimes just have a good attitude? And
it does. It does happen often, I mean, more times than not, things get changed somewhat. But there are a few that say, well, as long as it's back to the way it was, I'm fine with the way it was. So just put it back.
I wanted a skylight there anyway.
Right. That may not work. The insurance company may want you to put something else back.
It's very common for homeowners to say, hey, I want to do a facelift. I want to remodel or clean things up some, and as far as not necessarily cleaning, but clean up as far as the look of something. Go from carpet to tile or to wood flooring, or different paint on the wall. I mean, that's a normal project.
And it looks like
very common.
Another phone call. Good morning. Oh, did I do it right? Good morning. You're on the air with Rob and Joe.
Yes, this is Ted again. You earlier in this part of the program, you mentioned having somebody come out and assess if there's any damage, if there's any possibility of damage.
Right.
What does that cost for that?
What would that cost?
Yeah.
Are you speaking of having the tree company come and take a look?
No, whomever you suggested.
Yes. That would be up to whichever tree company you actually called, whether they provide free estimates. Generally they do. I mean, if that's what you're asking about, is an estimate to do the work?
You suggested having somebody come out and look and see what, if there's any possibility of a tree falling.
Yes.
And so you're saying that you would call a tree company?
Yes,
yes. That does the cutting.
A reputable tree company, preferably if you're looking at the health of your tree.
Yeah.
A certified arborist, somebody could recognize by looking or doing some tests, like you'd mentioned.
Certified arborist,
an
right?
Arborist, that's right.
Okay.
Make sure they're licensed and insured.
Good. Thank you.
That's right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for the call.
And it sounds like a lot of people come to you for advice. That seems like it's part of what you do on a daily basis.
That's right.
So, okay, great show today, by the way. How do we get a hold of you if we have some damage? This is a number we need to keep somewhere.
Yeah.
Because when it happens, you're going to say, what was that number?
All you need to do is call Rob or I. My phone number is 352-817-6574. My email is joe@damageflorida.com.
Okay. And Rob, how do we get a hold of you?
My number is 352-817-3625. And my email is rob@damageflorida.com.
Okay, easy enough. And the 622-5135 number I have, that's your office line,
That's the office. That's another number to reach us on.
Okay.
Another.
And also, remember, you can call us here at the radio station, and we can get a hold of Joe and Rob for you and give you their numbers or whatever else you need. And plus, Robin already has it on the schedule. If you go to WOCA.com, she'd make sure that we have all that right there. Thank you. Nice to meet you, Rob, and Joe. Thank you for coming back in. Good show.
Thank you. Thanks.
We'll take a little break and be right back.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala. The weather is brought to you by myfwc.com. Life jackets save lives. Wear it, Florida. Partly sunny today with a shower or two in the area, perhaps an afternoon thunderstorm, high 84.